Okay everyone, let me just go over the ingredients for you. So what I got going on here is I have 1 Japanese eggplant, so about 1 cup of eggplant diced, 3 cloves, 3 large cloves of garlic, 1 Thai red chili. I have some chipotles as well, chipotles and adobe, I'll probably use one of those. Some tomato paste, 1 can of black beans that I'm going to drain and rinse. And I also have 1 small yellow bell pepper. These are 4 shiitake mushrooms. This is about, I would say, 3/4 cup of shiitake mushroom that I just chopped. This is about 7 cherry tomatoes. It's about 1/2 cup of cherry tomatoes chopped. And this is 1/2 a white onion chopped. And then for the spices, and of course the spices are important when making chili, I have oregano, salt, pepper. This is smoked sea salt. Cayenne pepper, cumin, bay leaf, Old Bay, a little bit of cinnamon. Okay, so let's get started. Oh, and of course I have some tofu. I'll show you that later. Okay, so we're trying to keep this relatively low in fat, so I just put about 1 tablespoon of olive oil in the pan, and the first thing I'm going to do is just saute my onion, and this is just a white onion. Okay, so that's been sauteing just for about 30 seconds. And then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add my 3 cloves of garlic that I had just minced. And at this point I actually like to add my spices because I think it just sort of helps. So this is 1 bay leaf going in. And I'm not really going to measure, but I'll give you a rough estimate. This is about, I'll probably do 1 teaspoon of cumin because I really like cumin. 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne. 1/2 teaspoon of Old Bay. I'm going to do some smoked sea salt. A few grinds. A little bit of cinnamon, maybe just 1/4 teaspoon, not too much. Oregano. Probably going to do 1 teaspoon of this. It's a good amount. I like the oregano in the vegetarian chilies. And some black pepper. And I like doing the spices now because I think the oil, it kind of cooks into the oil, and I think it just really brings out the flavor of the spices really nice. So I'm going to let this saute for 30 more seconds and you'll see the next step. Okay, it's been about 30 seconds. It looks like this so far. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to just go ahead and add all of my vegetables now. So the mushrooms, the tomato, the bell pepper, the eggplant. And when I make vegetarian chili, which I love, I like to just put a lot of vegetables in it because I don't really feel like there's any rules to chili unless you're like calling it some special kind of chili. And I think as long as you have chilies in chili and you have maybe some beans, especially with vegetarian chili, to me that's chili. So I'm going to let these saute. I'll probably add a little bit more salt, and I'll let them saute for probably about 5 minutes, and I'll see you back. Okay, so it's been about 7 minutes, and it looks like this. I don't want to get it too soft because it's also going to cook a bit in the liquid. So now I'm going to add some more spice. I'm going to add about just 1 tablespoon of tomato paste. And I'm going to add 1 chopped Thai chili and 1 chopped chipotle chili, which is just basically a smoked jalapeno. And in adobo sauce is like, I guess, a tomato-based sauce. And I'm going to give that a mix. And I like to start off slow with the chilies. I don't like to go ahead and like put massive amounts in right away. I like to taste as I go because as chilies cook, they bring out their heat more. So I don't like to put too much heat in to begin with. I could always add more, but I can't take away. I'm going to get the water in. So this is 2 cups of water. And I'm also going to put in my 1 can of drained black kidney beans. And you can also put a vegetable bouillon cube in here. That would be really nice. This is going to thicken up though as we go. Okay, so I'm going to bring this to a boil and then I'll turn it down and I'll cover it and I'll let it cook for about a half hour. Meanwhile, we will prepare the tofu. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I got this pan heating up with just a tablespoon of olive oil. And here's my little trick to making like tofu vegetarian chili. I actually like to cook the tofu separate and put it in at the last minute because I like to get it really nice and like crispy, or try to make it crispy. So this is about maybe just like 1.25 cups of tofu. It's firm tofu. Alright, so I got that in the pan. I'm going to get some salt on here, some pepper, and I like to make vegetarian things pretty often, especially during the week. I just try not to eat too much meat, more for health reasons. I just think it's more healthy. Like, I just don't think that we need to eat too much meat. That's my personal preference. I just sprinkled that with some Old Bay seasoning. Okay, so I'm going to start to saute this and just kind of break it up, not too much, but just a bit, so it's like a crumbly like texture. And I'm going to cook this probably for a good 8 to 10 minutes. So I'll see you back then and I'll show you what it looks like. I just want to show you that the chili is about to come up to a boil, so I'm going to lower the heat to medium-low, cover it, and I'm going to let it cook probably for about, I would say, 15 minutes. So I'll see you back. Okay, so I just wanted to show you, it's been about 10 minutes, and as you can see, all the moisture is almost completely out of the tofu, and it's a little bit crunchy and crispy, and I'm going to, keep this on the side. I just added a little bit of paprika and cumin, so I'm going to put this on the side, and I'm going to add that in at the last minute. Okay, so my chili is looking great so far. So the next thing I'm going to do is I just took a little bit of the chili out in a bowl, just maybe about 1/4 cup, and I'm just going to mash it a little bit. I'm trying to mash the black beans, and this is just a way to make the liquid from the chili a little bit thicker. Okay, so I'm going to get this mashed, and then I'm going to put it in. While you were gone, I added a touch more cayenne, so probably about 1/2 teaspoon of cayenne in total. That's obviously to taste, you just put in a little bit more, a little bit less. But like I said, I like to start off small and then add more as I go on. Okay, so this looks good to me. I'm going to put it into the chili. And the chili is looking wonderful, and it's starting to get nice and thick on its own anyway. And I'm probably just going to let this cook for maybe about 5 more minutes with the cover off, and then we can add the tofu, and then we're finished. Okay guys, I think it's time to add the tofu. The chili's nice and thick. And this will feed about 4 people. I think that it makes 4 big servings as like a dinner amount. And of course, just double the recipe, but it's only Dom and I eating, so I don't like to make too much food sometimes. It's just too much. And then we have too many leftovers and we can't finish things, and, So I'm going to add the tofu, give it a mix, and you see how thick that has become now. And don't forget to check for seasoning. I really like the way mine is spiced and flavored. I wouldn't change anything at this point. Check for salt, take the bay leaf out, and let's get this plated up. I'll show you what it looks like when it's ready to go. Some cheddar, some cilantro for me. I love cilantro. And a little bit of sour cream. okay. I'm gonna give it a taste for you. I just got home from work. It's Monday night, which it's kind of my only night that I can cook these days because I got a second job. I'm working 2 jobs right now for a bigger goal. But all right, I'm gonna give it a try. Oh, that's really good.